Three, two, one. Broadcasting tape delayed from Hotlanta, the location of this year's NCAA Football Championship, also known as the FBS. Would that be correct, JP? Correct.
Correct.
I'm Bill, and this is JP, and we're here to pump you up, folks, because this is a sports economy show, and we're here to talk about money, because that's all that it matters, right, is money. And we want to see logos of FanDuel and DraftKings, and ESPN's not even Bet ESPN anymore. It's SBet or something. Logos all over the field and all around the stadium, because that's what matters.
I didn't know that they changed the name for the ESPN Bet.
Yeah, there was, okay, for all you folks out there that don't know, a long time ago, there was this sports app that just gives scores. Yeah. It was called, the logo for the app was just S.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I used it a lot. Then I stopped used something else. But anyway, now ESPN Bet has partnered with them, and they use their logo. So.
Really?
Yeah. You know, you should know these things, JP, because you're up to date on gambling.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. All right. So today's show, folks, we're going to talk about the ESPN contract for the FBS, because they signed a contract to be the exclusive television broadcaster, right? Right. So it took me a little while to understand, because I'm a little slow, who ESPN signed the contract with them. Like, they got to sign it with somebody. Somebody has to be the governing body, right? So the College Football Playoff, that's the name of the group. It's called CFP, the College Football Playoff. Did you know that?
I did.
Anyway, they got a logo and everything. And ESPN have agreed to a new 6-year, $7.8 billion contract.
Good.
Lots of cash. That ensures the network will remain the sole media rights holder of the event through 2031-32. So 6 years. And it started January of this year.
Wait
that's
a minute.
That's $1.3 billion per year.
Jesus, you said 2031?
Yeah, 2031-32. That 2032 is through the end of the playoffs, which goes into January.
It's something about a person that's born in 1970 like myself. When you just said 2031, I was like, that's a long time from now. It's really
no,
not.
It's not. It's not. Yeah, the 32 is so it goes into January, so they get to finish the playoffs. And my guess is before that contract's up, they'll sign a bigger one. What do you think?
I think so.
So right now, this group of people called the College Football Playoff is getting $1.3 billion. So beginning in 26-27, which is January this year, the CFP National Championship game will be broadcast on ABC in addition to ESPN's MegaCast presentation, whatever that means. You know, like they got ESPN Plus, and they have different people doing that stuff.
So I think the MegaCast is, so ESPN has multiple channels. Yeah. So what they do is they have one channel where it's the original broadcast, right? The main
one panel with the Manning brothers.
And then, they don't do that for college, I don't think.
Yeah, I know. I'm just using that as an example.
The guy, it's sort of like that.
They'll have Booger McFarlane on a channel.
They'll have like the background stuff.
Yeah.
Like the directors, you'll hear the directors, and they'll show different camera shots that you won't see on a regular broadcast. It's a little bit different. I don't like to watch those things. I feel like it just takes away from the game.
Yeah.
But there are a number of people who do like it. I'm just not one of them.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's the deal. And there's also a thing where ESPN is going to farm out some of the games to like TNT. So anyway, so you, JP, evidently have how this money is going to be divided up, because I couldn't figure it out. Like, how are the teams getting money? Or is it just this little cabal called the CFP, which is a group of people elected to be the head of the conferences?
Right. I think you touched on the biggest asset that makes the money for people, right?
Yeah.
For in college football, it's really the television market for college football is the reason why there's so much money involved. It's the same thing for the NFL as well, where
Mm-hmm.
it they have that one source that truly will get eyes on this, on their product, and it's it's immeasurable. It's literally like you can't you can't ask for a better product for college football than what ESPN is putting out for them, right?
Yeah.
So, and then the fact that they get paid a lot of money from ESPN to broadcast, it just, you know, it's a win-win situation for everyone, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to focus on the actual how much do the schools get. Now you
Yeah.
know like you have these teams that everybody's dying to get into the playoffs, and you go, well, everybody needs a chance to be in the playoffs to win a championship.
Yeah.
But in reality, uh, once the playoffs start, you usually know there's only like two or three teams who really have a good chance of winning the
Yeah.
championship, right? But to qualify to get in the playoffs alone is big time money. So think about JMU, who
Yeah.
made it for the first time, right? They are a smaller school, right? JMU got 4 million. So okay, let me just start by saying, in the first round of the playoff, the first two rounds of the playoffs, for each round that you are in, each team gets $4 million for that round, right? And $3 million of travel expenses, which, you know, if you are a major school and you have like a large size band
Yeah.
and you have you have a football team that is, like, okay, for
You
example,
have
like in
25 assistant coaches.
yeah, just say, okay, just think about a team like USC when they had Reggie Bush
Yeah.
and Leonard and all these other stars who were on the team, right?
Yeah.
If you have a team like that, you also have to include additional security and all that stuff. That's
Yeah.
all part of the travel expenses, right?
Yeah.
So that $3 million,
You got to
you
feed
pretty
these
much
people.
burn that up. You
Yeah.
may even have to add a little bit to it.
Yeah.
But if you're a school like JMU, you probably can travel and pocket a little bit of that money of the three
Yeah.
million. So it's
Yeah.
a good get. And not only for the first two rounds do you get $4 million for
Well,
each
actually,
round that you're in.
7. You're getting
Huh?
7 million. You're getting
Well,
7 million.
technically $7 million,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Not only do you get that, but your conference will also get a match of the $4 million,
Yeah.
right? So if you get what is JMU? I think is in the Sun Belt Conference, right?
Yeah.
So JMU got $4 million. The Sun Belt Conference got an additional $4 million, which they will just
Yeah.
distribute amongst the other schools in the conference. That's a pretty good get for a small conference.
Yeah.
Now, the Big Ten uh, has had multiple schools, and the SEC has had multiple schools, so it doesn't just end there. So,
Yeah.
like right now, the Big Ten has two schools in the quarterfinals. So when you get to the quarterfinals, it jumps up to $6 million per team, right? And the final game is the same thing, $6 million for each of the two teams that are in the championship game.
Yeah.
Plus travel expenses is the same, $3 million, right?
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money, and the conferences get the match of it. So right now, the Big Ten has Oregon and Indiana. Now, what's unfortunate for them is they actually play each other.
Yeah. They got to play. So one of them's going
Right.
home.
So one of them is going home.
Yeah.
So they will play each other, and they get $6 million apiece, and the conference will get $12 million
Yeah.
because they have two teams in it.
Yeah.
So that is a lot of money that is invested. Think about SEC. They had Ole Miss in the quarterfinals. They had Ole Miss, they had Georgia, they had Alabama,
Texas
that's
A&M,
Texas A&M. That's a good chunk of money.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma was in it, weren't they?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
you, so these conferences, you know, you wonder where all the money is coming from, but the conferences have mastered this situation and they're basically taking advantage of these situations. Of course.
Well, I'll say this just real fast. The ESPN and the SEC are like this. The ESPN signed a $3 billion contract with the SEC about 4 or 5 years ago for television, for broadcasting. So
Yeah.
anyway, so
Well, it
ESPN's
used to be
into this.
the best partnership for television for years was CBS. CBS was in the partnership with the SEC.
Yeah.
They always had that prime. Well, it wasn't a prime time game,
It
but
was a
it was a
3:30
3:30
afternoon
game,
Saturday game.
3:30 afternoon game, and it was a huge game, and it was always the game of the week, and they did it for over 20 years,
Yeah.
and it was a big thing for the SEC.
Yeah.
Now ESPN has gotten to the point where if you're in sports, somehow ESPN is associated with it.
Yeah.
You know, and
well, here's what ESPN offered. They came and said, "Hey, we'll put 3 games every Saturday of your conference on, and pay you this money." CBS don't have the ability to put 3 games a week on,
no,
because they have other programming. ESPN, all we
Right.
got is sports. We have 4 channels that people watch. We can put them all
and
on.
I will say this: as big as ESPN is, their ratings don't compare to when the game is broadcast on ABC, which is associated
No.
with you.
Yeah.
The networks still
Yeah.
they put asses in the seats, as they say.
Yeah.
The networks rule the ratings. So
Yeah.
as big as ESPN is for Monday Night Football, for college football,
Yeah.
it does not compare. It still does not compare, even to this day.
Well, that's why on Monday Night Football here the past few years they've been putting the game on ABC.
They have, and it's
Yeah.
a big thing. I don't know how they actually adjust the ratings for that, but they have been doing that. And in some cases, they've been putting it on ABC and on ESPN. So I
Yeah.
don't know how they're actually adjusting the ratings to get the ratings the way they need it to manipulate the money for advertising. But whatever they're doing a good job of it.
Yeah, because I guess Disney, which owns all this, is paying lots of money to carry sports. So
yeah, because when you think of cheap, you think of Disney, right?
Yeah. Yes, right. Going down to Disney World.
Disney.
Going down to Disney World, buy you an armband. Be sure to take your credit card with a $25,000 limit, boy.
It is a walking ATM machine at
That's
Disney
right.
World.
So anyway, so I want to read a little bit about this college football playoffs. And now here's where the money gets divided up. Now the teams in the championship game, they get money, but it's not a ton of money. It's a lot compared to what people get. But say you're talking $5-6 million. That's a lot.
Yeah.
But you're dealing with $1.3 billion. So that money has to go somewhere. So let me give you a list of the conferences that get some of this money.
Okay.
Say it isn't owned by a single entity, but is governed by the CFP Administration, LLC. So the College Football Administration is a limited liability corporation. That's what LLC stands for. It's a company made up of representatives from 10 football bowl series conferences: the American, the ACC, the Big 10, Big 12, Conference USA, MAC, the Mountain West Conference, MWC. It took me a second. The Pac-12, is the Pac-12 in existence? CW airs them. So watch the CW for the Pac-12.
Right.
The SEC and the Sun Belt. Oh, Sun Belt. And who's the holdout for a non-conference school there, JP?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So all these schools, which I don't know, it's probably 60 schools or more. Now it's more than 60. They're the ones that actually split the leftovers of that $1.3 billion. Yeah. So every year they split that money amongst all these schools. That's why earlier this year there was this rumor going around that the Big Ten was going to kick out some of these non-revenue generating schools like Northwestern, and the SEC might get rid of Mississippi State.
Which would be the death blow.
Yeah, but they're not going to. There's just a bunch of yahoos making up rumors on the internet. That's all that is.
Well, they keep expanding.
Is there anything left to expand to? I don't know.
I mean, look, we all see where it's going, right? It's going to basically be the big whatever.
We did a show about it, folks. The two power conferences.
The big what? It would be the big.
You got the North and the South. You got the Big and the Big South.
That's right.
That's Remember, right. You mentioned, can I sing you my theme song?
What?
For the Big Ten, from coast to coast, from coast to coast, from border to border, from sea to shining sea, the Big is on. We got schools from Oregon to Rutgers, baby, which is is it New Jersey? Rutgers is in New Jersey. That's right.
That's right.
I was thinking it was on Long Island, but it's in New Jersey. Anyway, they've got it covered. And if you can't beat them, buy them.
That's right. I mean, but in 10 years, it's going to be those two conferences and all these other schools.
Oh.
All these schools that are in the ACC that aren't good.
Yeah.
They're just going to be, they're going to
Miami
be like they're going to be like the team that plays the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
They're just going to be the guys that everybody just plays to put a beating on. They're the other teams. That's what they are.
Yeah. Oh, Miami and Florida State are fit to be tied about being in the ACC. Anyway, we're going to have to do it. I'm going to bring up the thing. We're going to have to do a show on college basketball signing G League players.
What?
Yes. Baylor signed a G League player. And there's another player that was drafted in the NBA and is playing college now. Oh, what's his name? Izzo. Tom Izzo is ticked off about this.
Is this the foreign guy? The guy who played in... Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, so we're going to talk about that. We got to do a show about this. This is crazy. What college basketball doesn't resemble college basketball. This student athlete business.
Yeah.
That don't exist no more.
The student professionals is what they are.
Yeah, that's exactly what. Anyway, so just going to let y'all folks know this is going to have to be a show because it's crazy. Oh, and we're going to bring up I personally am of the belief that in-season trades will be going on soon.
Well, I mean, look, you saw how much money they're making.
Yeah.
Eventually they're going to end up with a salary cap for the whole team.
Well, they do have a salary cap, but nobody pays attention.
No, but I mean, like each player's salary is going to go to a cap. Like, everyone's going to get paid, and they're going to have a minimum of how much you're going to get paid. It's going to be, they're going to have GMs that are cutting players in the middle of the season because of injuries, trades. It's going to be just like the NFL.
It's going to be just like the NFL.
Managers, and off we go. Yeah. We're not surprised me in 20 years, man, if that's the way it is. Mm-hmm.
It'd be like North Dallas 40, man.
Yeah. Some kid for Iowa has this dream of playing for the Iowa Hawkeyes, signs a contract, ready to go, making his little
They
$1
traded
million, and
to
they look
Iowa
like,
State.
it's like, hey, Johnny, guess what? Yeah, am I starting this week? Yeah, you may be, but you're going to be starting for Nebraska.
Yeah.
Because you just been traded.
That's right. Yep.
Sorry, kid. We needed that right guard. Sorry.
All right, folks. We're getting off topic, so we're gonna have to. Yeah, that's all I got.
That's all I
about
got.
how this money. That's all I got. 'Cause there's a lot going on. Anyway, the NIL is the gift that keeps on giving. I heard a great NIL story today. I'll have to bring it up later about the Oregon quarterback and Lane Kiffin.
Any story with Lane Kiffin.
You want to hear it real quick?
Yeah, what happened?
All right. I'm gonna tell this story. Then I heard this on the radio. I don't know if it's true or not, but it sounds legit. All right. The quarterback for I'm sorry, not Oregon. The quarterback for Washington.
Yeah.
Just signed his NIL deal like 3 days ago. Well, he decided to enter the portal because Lane Kiffin or LSU has somehow come involved in they're talking to this player. Can you believe that?
Yeah. If you say Lane Kiffin's involved.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dude signed his NIL deal, and it's like $3 million or something to play for Washington next year. But he's like, oh, I'm entering the portal, even though I signed a contract with you.
Listen, your boy John Calipari, literally, I'm sure he gets around Lane Kiffin like, I don't trust that dude. He's shady.
when Teflon John calls somebody shady, it's bad.
It's a bad dude. Stay away from him.
That's right.
That's right, man. It's Lane Kiffin, man. That dude, boy.
That dude. Remember, we did a show. When he leaves your program, he leaves it on fire.
Yes, he burns it.
Burns it
Ole
down.
Miss, watch out.
Yep. So watch out, LSU. You're going to pay for this in about 5 years.
Eventually.
Yes.
May not be tomorrow. May not be next year. But it's going to happen.
Yep. Hey, Lane Kiffin's next stop, the Dallas Cowboys. All right. All right, folks. Well, that's all I got for today. You got anything left, JP? Any good stories? No.
We can go on and on, but that's all I got for this one.
We can talk nonsense all night long. Yeah. I gotta go get something to eat. Anyway. So, remember, folks, we appreciate you watching this show, and we really appreciate you liking and subscribing because we need to go $1 zillion because we're going to start going to every championship game for the next 10 years. And it costs a lot of money. So long, everybody.
So long, everybody.
Y'all come back now. Here